The Zacks Rank, value, momentum, growth, and income all factor into Zacks Rank buys.
We're going to look at a growth and income stock here that you might find interesting with our growth and income strategist, Todd Bunton. You've never talked about this one before, but on the surface it looks interesting. Air Products, APD, the ticker.
Yeah, so they're a supplier of industrial gases to a variety of end markets, primarily energy markets. They're in chemicals, electronics, manufacturing, but they supply atmospheric gases like oxygen, nitrogen, argon, and then what they call process and specialty gases, hydrogen being the biggest. They're the world's leading supplier of hydrogen. Wow. So who knew, right? Yeah. And then the company actually has a materials technologies business, but they're actually going to be spinning that off next year. Okay. And that's about 20% of their sales. But yeah, the bulk of their sales come from these industrial gases, and a little more than half of their sales come from outside of the U.S. Now, you think industrial outside of the U.S., not a great business to be in right now, right? Because of all
headwinds,
exactly, and they're fighting the strong dollar, but the company's still able to offset that. They had higher pricing and volumes last quarter, delivered a solid beat and raise. And one of the reasons for that is because the company announced a while back they targeted $600 million in cost savings. Oh. So they've been seeing expanded profit margins, and that's through reduced overhead and operational improvements. Okay. And so they've been seeing significant margin expansion, which helped drive solid earnings growth and that solid beat. And again, like I said, pricing and volume was still up in total. You know, it was somewhat offset by that strong dollar. But overall, their business is fairly steady relative to a lot of other industrial type names or chemical type names. And if you look, management increased its guidance for the full year. Okay. That prompted analysts to revise their estimates higher. And you can see here, I brought with me the price and consensus chart. You can see consensus estimates for both 2015 and 2016 marked significantly higher over the last few months, driven by that solid beat and raise. That was strong enough to send it to a Zacks Rank of 2, which is a buy rating. And if you look at consensus estimates, analysts are expecting about 13% earnings growth this year and 14% growth next year. So those operational improvements, those cost savings are falling through to the bottom line, and that's why they're getting that solid growth there.
And it pays a dividend.
They do. They pay a solid dividend that yields 2.5%. They are a solid free cash flow generator and very shareholder friendly. And if you look, the company's increased its dividend for more than 30 consecutive years, which is pretty remarkable.
That's a long time.
That's as long as I've been around. Yeah. And one of the reasons for that is a very solid, consistent, strong free cash flow and a solid balance sheet, which allows them to do that. And over the last 10 years, they've increased their dividend at about a 10% compound annual growth rate. So that's pretty significant there. Yeah. So good growth, good income here, all at a fairly reasonable price. They trade a little less than 17 times forward earnings. Not super cheap, but not too pricey in this market. And you can see some of their competitors. They're in line with the multiple there, Praxair and Airgas being their two biggest competitors. You can see they also pay solid dividends, but Air Products has that solid earnings momentum, that Zacks Rank of 2, which is why I like this name over the next 6 to 12 months to provide solid total return to shareholders.
All right, do you own it?
I do not.
All right, check out more stock information on our website, Zacks.com. Link to it all off the homepage if you're not there already watching this video. If you're watching this video on the YouTube platform, a reminder, you can subscribe to our videos there and even comment on them. Feedback's always welcome. With Todd, I'm Terry Ruffalo.